We are 90.3 FM, WKRB, Kingsborough Community College, Brooklyn, New York.
How would we describe this?
An organized mess.
An organized mess.
Oh, that's nice. Apparently they have like this, these fake Twitter profiles.
Oh, I have a fake Twitter profile.
Wow,
This sounds like an entertainment. I'm like, I should be telling this story. Hey, what's up? It's me, Malcolm.
Hey, I'm Renee.
What it look like? It's your boy Focus.
And we are the Clique. And here on the Clique, we cover it all.
I bring the headlines on Nay's News Report.
This is Focus, and each Tuesday I update you with sideline sports stories.
And I'm the tabloid checker, letting you know what's going on with all your favorite celebrity scoop.
We even jump into some topics every once in a while.
And it gets a little personal.
Boy, does it. This girl you tweeting with no clothes on. Oh, no. So now I just mind my business. I see, I scroll, I continue with my life.
Because you fake. It's the Clique.
The Clique.
The Clique. Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
At WKRB The Clique.
Only a click away.
Every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on 90.3 WKRB.
Keep clicking.
Welcome back to the Clique on 90.3 WKRB.
Here with Malcolm.
Renee.
Your boy Focus.
I thought you was going to introduce me because I introduced you, but
doesn't
or vice
matter.
versa.
We're here at 90.3 WKRB.
Exactly.
Guest of the hour, everyone, ladies and gentlemen.
A legend. The legend.
And
on the
champion
phone.
of the 86 Mets, Mr. Mookie Wilson. How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing tonight?
Good.
I'm doing pretty good. A little warm here. I'm doing all right.
Well, you're warm now because I know you was on a little book tour. You're out in South Carolina. You're back home now?
Yeah, got in this morning.
What, did you at least join, you're back up, you was back up on New York. Did you at least enjoy some of the weather that was up here?
Oh, yeah, we had a couple good days, but it rained for about 3 of the days straight. But the weather was nice. Wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, let's get down to business, man. You have this book out, phenomenal book, Mookie, Life in Baseball, and the times with the 86 Mets. What transpired to you doing the book this late in the game? You've done major things in baseball, and I'm pretty sure you had the opportunity to release a book before.
Oh, yeah, I had the opportunity to do it before, but, I didn't want to, do a baseball book per se, just a, play-by-play, at-bat, by at-bat, and what I did in high school, what I did in college, what I did in college. I wasn't into that. I think that's too much of that's been done. I wanted to do a book that was going to be meaningful to people, that people get something out of it, that might be able to help them in their lives by listening to some of the struggles and adversities that I've gone through, as well as some of the good times also.
You have many good times as before being even a Met. Like, you went through school, you had the opportunity to, get drafted by the Dodgers and come, play with other coaches who were champions of the Yankees. And what was like some of those experiences which you went through, like, on your way up to the major leagues, coming from the minors?
Well, it was a very good experience. Of course, there's always the ups and downs. Minor leagues it can be a struggle. It really can be a struggle. But you have coaches that will help you along the way, and then you have, I always had my father to fall back on for advice and how to handle certain situations and stuff. And coming to New York was definitely culture shock, coming from South Carolina. But it was all worth it. If I had to do it all over again, there's some things I probably would do a little differently, but that's all stuff you learn from experience.
I understand that. And now that the book is out, what do you want the fans to perceive with this book out? The title is Life, Baseball, and the 86 Mets. And I'm pretty sure the book, I don't want to give it away because I've read some of the chapters, but there's a lot going on in the book. I know your life was, foreshadowed with just by one play, some portion of it, And what do you want the fans to take from the book?
Well, I want the fans to get to know Mookie Wilson. Mm-hmm. And, they've seen me play. They know about the play, and that play really kind of overshadowed a lot of things that's happened in my life. But I want people to understand that I've had, good things, bad things. All these things that has happened to me has helped to form the person that I am. I want them to understand how it was for my growing up. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't grow up, doing all those things that a lot of kids do today because they just couldn't afford it. But then again, even after I made it and was successful, I still had adversities, and I wanted people to understand that life should not be defined by what's happening in your life today, but it's a collection of things. And I just want people to get that from it, that just to get to know Mookie Wilson as a person, not also as a ball player, which most people know anyway.
Of course. And that play in particular, it kind of it brought out a lot of your character, because to this day I still hear stories of you doing signings and things with Buck, and you guys having a great relationship off the field, which shows that you guys definitely weren't only just about the baseball play, even though things happened, but the way that people portrayed it, it was made for way farther than that between you guys as players, and shows what kind of characters you guys had. And how often do you keep in contact with Mr. Buck?
Oh, Bill and I, we are in contact constantly. As a matter of fact, when I was up there on my tour, we were, texting.
Oh, you guys are texting?
Yeah, I was communicating with him. We are such good friends, and I think that the event, in '86, brought us together, that we were able to talk and discuss things about that play, about life, about how that play has affected our careers. And it's just been a great opportunity for me to get to know a man that most people can't understand how we can be friends. Well, like I said, we are more than baseball.
Of course.
And I think that our relationship kind of proves that. And our relationships are built not necessarily on successes, but how people treat each other and what they hope to gain with by communicating with people. And that's what Bill and I do.
How do you guys break the ice? Because I know for those who don't know, our listeners are probably a little young in the generation, but Mr. Wilson, you knocked the ball down going towards the first base, and it went through Buck's legs. For everybody who doesn't know. Now, do you think you would have beat him to the bag?
Oh yes, I think I would have beat him to the bag. We had this conversation, Bill and I.
Many times.
Conversation.
Okay.
And we both agreed that it would have been very, very difficult, for him, to beat me to the bag. Now, no one actually knows, because anything we say is all based on positioning, speed of the ball, his health, my speed. But with all those things you add together, the odds were definitely in my favor, and I don't think anyone would dispute that.
I definitely hear that. And how'd you guys break the ice between you guys on the friendship?
Well, it's a funny story, and I think people read the book, and it's going to really tell it how. But Bill approached me in Kansas City one day, and I was in the outfield. He was in Kansas City. I had been traded to Toronto at the time. And he walks up behind me and say, "Hey, Mookie, you want to hit some ground balls?" Out of nowhere, out of the middle of anywhere. And that kind of broke the ice. And from there, it's just been very, very comfortable, very candid, very open conversation with each other. It's been a joy.
That's truly interesting, and for you guys to continue the relationship off that one little single, I'm pretty sure it could be awkward. Like everywhere you go, people always want you guys to talk about it. Even us having to talk about it. I'm a little young in age, but I just had to ask you some of those questions with curiosity. You of growing up, listening to some of the stories of the '86 Mets. But now that you've done many things after being a Met, like being a coach, driving the truck, what were those things like?
I think of all this outside of baseball. Yeah, driving a truck is probably my second best job I've ever had. I really enjoy it. It's more of a hobby than a job. I do it during off season in my spare time because I just enjoy doing it. I really, really enjoy doing it. I've done a few other things also. I've insurance securities. I've done those things, and it's just been a joy. I've actually owned my own trucking company. So,
wow! How long have you owned a trucking company? I was familiar dating back to years where I did see that you got a CDL license and things, was able to drive the truck. But how long have you had your own business?
Well, I started driving truck earlier, in 94, 95, and then I actually had my trucking company from 2007 up to through 2010. And then I came back to coaching again.
So you sound like you're doing pretty well for yourself, because a lot of players and things after baseball or after any sport, they don't do so successful off of the money and how they manage their money, and what difference has that made for you and things of your career?
Well, I think it's going to my upbringing. Growing up, we had to make do with very little. Mm-hmm. And even though I played Major League Baseball, and I hadn't made a comfortable amount of money. Mm-hmm. I didn't make a lot. I'm not a millionaire by no stretch of imagination or by any standard. But I require very little. And being happy means more to me than anything else. That's why I do what makes me happy. That's why I drive truck, because it makes me feel happy. And I'm a minister now, and that really takes up a lot of my time, and I really enjoy talking with people and teaching and trying to inspire people, and that's what it is. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's being happy. I play baseball because it made me happy, not because of the money, but it's nice to get paid for what you do. Don't get me wrong. But, that's what it's all about.
Now, in the 2014 of sports, I want to get a little off topic to get to know Mr. Mookie Wilson, the real Mr. Mookie. What do you think of the Donald Sterling incident and, him making commentary? Because you grew up in the 80s, and I'm pretty sure now is a lot more diverse with players and the races and how they come along. What are your thoughts? And if you were in that era, in the era of today, when someone makes a comment like that, how would you have dealt with it, or felt at least?
Whenever I hear people like Mr. Sterling make racist comments, I mean, people in his position who has everything the world has to offer. I mean, what is he complaining about? I mean, he has everything. I don't know what his problem is. I mean, if he was dirt poor and had nothing, there's still no reason to complain and make racist statements against people you don't even know. Yeah. And better that, people who is your bread and butter, who you employ, who put money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the mentality of people when they do things like that. And I don't care if you own a team or you're a fan. I don't care what your position is. There's no place in the game for that. There's no place in society for that. Is it there? It exists. Yes, it does. We all know it exists, and we'd be naive to think otherwise. But for someone to blatantly display that kind of attitude, it shows total disregard and disrespect for people. Mm-hmm. So I don't like get in that conversation because I don't.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
No, I mean, but well, have you? Yeah, that was my next question. Have you ever experienced anything like that? And in a different time, back in the 80s, were you more forced to bite your tongue? Because I mean, now with the age of social media, like Twitter really is what made this story blow up. Like, has there ever been a situation where this has happened to you or one of your teammates where you kind of just like bit your tongue and let it be what it was?
Yeah. We experienced racism. I did. Mm-hmm. It's in professional baseball. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. I mean, yes, I have. I seen part of it when I was coaching. Yes, I saw that too. And I saw it. But you got to move past that, and you got to find a way to kind of, work above that, because to react is to lower yourself to the level of people who is displaying the racism. And that doesn't, I don't care whether you're white, black, blue, pink, when you display racism, it is wrong. Yep. It is wrong. I've learned, you judge people based on their merit. Mm-hmm. How they are. That's how you judge people, not because of their color, their religion, or even the clothes they wear, their job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I totally hear you.
We definitely hear you. And you know what? It's funny that you say that, speaking of judging and things like that. Let's go back to the 86 team a little bit, because this is what the book is about. Everyone who's listening, Mookie, Life, Baseball, and the 86 Mets is out today. It was out last week, but it's out now. Go get it. Mr. Mookie Wilson's on the phone with us. And I want to talk about some of the things on the team, like the 86 Mets. Some of them reference them as the bad guys. What's your relationship with some of those guys? Straw, Good, and some of those guys back, and Keith Hernandez. You still keep in contact? How's everything going?
Well, to this day, we do keep in contact, maybe not as often as we would like, mm-hmm. but we find a way to get together, very frequently. As a matter of fact, I think we were together this past winter.
Okay.
Again, most of the guys who couldn't make it were there, and we have a very, very good relationship. I mean, to this day, we all consider each other just friends, and with no bias, no prejudice, no nothing. We all consider friends, and they're the best group of guys I've ever played with. I know there's been a lot written about the guys and the bad guys and the scum bunch and all that stuff. But that was when they're on their personal time. Mm-hmm. I think people deserve to do what they would like to do, whatever they call it, let your hair down,
Yeah.
whatever term they want to use.
Yeah.
It was just really well publicized. I'm not condoning what they've done off the field, but I understand that because when they came to the ballpark, they were professionals. When they were in my presence, they were gentlemen. They were professionals. When they were in my presence of my family, they were gentlemen. They were family people. And this is what I think people need to understand about that whole team. As rather as you may think they were, I was comfortable leaving my son with any one of them at any period in time, anywhere.
I hear you, because some of them, you being the clean cut guy, some of those guys carried over some baggage, throughout the years. But and you being a clean cut guy reminds me of my time now looking at Derek Jeter. Him being the guy that everyone adores, or they look at everything that he does, and they kind of put him at a high stance. And you being very much a legend. How do you think of Derek Jeter going out right now as like on top of his game?
And Derek Jeter, I would have to admire. I mean, for a guy to play in the greatest city, one of the greatest cities in the world, and as you're a sports figure in New York, they don't get any better than that. And Derek Jeter has survived. I mean, he has really survived. Not only survived, he has excelled, in that city. And I have to tip my hat to him because, the city has really, ruined a lot of people. A lot of ball players have fallen by the wayside because of New York. And it's not New York's fault, but it's what New York has to offer. And I think Derek Jeter's really handled it very well, and he deserves every accolade that he gets. I respect him, and I think he's just been a great role model. He's been a great example, but not only a ball player, as a human being. And I have to tip my hat to him.
You have a question, Malcolm?
Oh, I was just gonna say, no. So, no, I definitely hear what you're saying about Derek Jeter. So, how do you feel about the whole, MLB franchise right now? Like the whole game of baseball. Even with the good and the bad. With the steroids and stuff. What is your current take on baseball as an entire sport, or more so the MLB?
Well, I think MLB, Major League Baseball is probably as high as it's been in years. The fans come out to watch the game because they enjoy the game. It provides a little excitement. It's providing everything. And I think that, no matter how hard that we have tried to spoil it with whatever strikes and steroids and HGH and PDD or whatever you want to call it, all baseball will survive because people enjoy the game. And I understand people, because baseball has been a game for an average Joe. You can be 5'10" and do okay. I know. I was 5'10", so I know it can be done.
You was a little bit smaller.
That's the connection that people have with baseball. Mm-hmm. And the game is great right now. It has its problems. Yes, it does, and we have to get past the steroid thing. And I think we're there. We haven't totally fixed it yet, but we're doing a pretty good job of trying to contain it. Will we ever get rid of it all? If there's some way for somebody to cheat, they're going to find it. You know it. I know it. You do it on income taxes every year. So let's go. Let's be honest with it. But the game is in great position right now. The only one thing that I would like to see more African Americans play in the game. This is where my focus laid right now. I would like to see more African Americans play the ball game, and it's too much of a story to get into right now, but that's one thing I would love to see.
Why'd you stop? A quick question. We hear broadcast Brooklyn Cyclones every season.
Yes, we do.
And we knew you were a coach. You gave up the job, or what happened? Would you any interest in coming back?
Oh, I've been living him. The job in Brooklyn is the best minor league manager job in all of baseball. I really love managing that team. I really, 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 really did.
Really?
I left because I really didn't have any other options. I left at a time because there was no forward progress for me.
Okay.
At least the organization didn't show any. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was just a waste of my time. Okay. And so that's why I quit. When I left, it wasn't because I didn't like Brooklyn. It wasn't because I didn't like New York. It wasn't because I didn't like the Mets. It's just because I didn't see any forward progress, and I just wanted to give myself an opportunity to be happy. And at that particular time, I was not very happy.
I could definitely understand that. And you still do things as ambassador. You were the last. I've heard you were the ambassador of the Mets organization. You still hold that job, or?
Oh Oh, yes, I still have that job. I still come in. I still talk to the fans. We have a good time when I go to the suite, talking to the sponsors. I have a great time.
Oh.
I have a great time. I just was looking for a little more. That's all.
I definitely hear that. And hopefully you'll be get back down to the base or first base or second base. I know you held that position as a coach at one point, and I know you're looking for that. Any opportunities you think will arise coming from that?
I don't know. And, when I wrote the book, that's not the purpose of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I say some things that people view it or take away from it as anger, it's not. It's
just
simply stating a fact. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. Am I angry? No. Am I disappointed? Yes. So, and I hope people get that from a lot that I've written, because I wanted to be as open and as transparent as I possibly could in my personal life and my professional life as I could possibly be, because I think I owe it to myself and to the people that's going to read this book. I
want to quiz you really fast. You in the book you said something as going back to your Buck moment, the Buckner was at play, and you said that some people don't even remember their first time, their first average of the first current rookie year. Do you remember what you batted or any legacy numbers?
I don't remember anything I did my first. My first, I don't, because I played so many games, and one day began to be like the other when you play in baseball. It really does, But the game in '86, but that was a event. That was a special time. People know where they were. They know how many minutes between labor pains with their wives. They know everything. I mean, that moment just kind of stamped in time for everyone, including myself.
Well, rookie year you batted .284, and through that year you had stolen over 160 bases, being the fastest in the league. So there you go, saying that you probably would have beaten Buck to the base regardless if he had caught the ball or not. I saw on the plate probably over 100 times. Yeah, you would have beat him to the bag. What was going through your mind up there at the plate? Because you said something like, from what I know, even before that, you used to just swing at whatever pitch came your way.
Well, that's right, and that's what I was going to do that day too.
Well, now most.
It was a great time, but understand, more than anything, that was probably the greatest at-bat I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
People that see me play, I'm not trying to pretend to be somebody. Like I went up there, there was disciplined hitter, make the pitcher, throw pitches. That was never my intent.
Uh-huh.
My intent was to get something to hit. And if the ball was close enough to the plate, I was hacking, and I was so determined to not make the last out. That I wish I had that determination all through my career. I might have hit 290 or 300. Who knows what I would have. But it's just that when people in front of you, they motivated me to really, because three guys in front of me had two strikes on them.
Definitely.
And they got hit.
And you had a full count. You had a full count.
Yeah, that thing could have gone either way. So, I look at it. It was a great moment, but there are so many things that I had to be proud about, and the fact that I saw 10 pitches. Can you imagine?
That's
I bet
lot.
You can't go back in anywhere in my 12 years and find where I saw 10 pitches.
You usually would have strikeout or would have made a base hit.
That was it. That was it. I didn't believe in wasting time. My time or their time.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, go get the book, Mookie Wilson, Mookie, the book, Life, Baseball, and the '86 Mets, forwarded by author Eric Sherman. And this is Mookie Wilson, and as you know, he's an average everyday guy, down to earth. Thank you for spending time with us. Truck driver, minister, truck business owner, minister,
hello,
and baseball legend of the '86 Mets.
Yes.
Hold on one second. We'll be back with you. And what's that?
With more coming up. And Mookie, next time you're in New York, stop by. We'd love to have you here, all right?
Mookie, hold on 1 second,
guys.
okay?
All right, take care.
All right. Thank you.
Mookie Wilson. He was fun. I liked him. All right, so listen, we'll be back with more after this. Hang tight. Keep coming with more on The Clique. We'll be back.
The beat of Brooklyn. WKRB.